I am Slick Nick, the living legend of hair loss, your personal hairline hero, and of course, the red pill pusher of hair loss, reminding you people don't care about your hair. They don't care about your appearance in the same way that they care about these 10 things. That's ultimately the theme of this channel. I have around 10,000 subscribers, most of whom are not old enough to appreciate the reality that instead of focusing on what you think matters, focus on what other people think matters when it comes to you being an attractive person. So I want to check out this comment. I need to do a whole video on this one, and not the first time, but let's face it, most of my videos are reruns of themselves. So this video already exists multiple times on the channel, but here's the 2020 version of it. I made a video called The Reason I'm Getting So Fit and Losing Fat Right Now, Intermittent Fasting and Carb Backloading. Our friend Darsh Shah, which I appreciate, he's been watching my videos for a while, he asked the question, does being fit help hair loss? To which I just simply said no, to which Saeed K said, Nick Shell, for his sake, Nick, it does. Dude, go work out and you'll see the difference in yourself. To which I said, I'll do a video response. So yeah, working out does not help hair loss. It's not going to prevent hair loss. It's not going to reverse hair loss. It has zero effect on hair loss. Now here's where things get a little bit confusing. I'll have people say that if you're really stressed out, then you'll lose your hair. If you don't get enough sleep, you'll lose your hair. If you don't eat enough and you get the right nutrients, you'll lose your hair. No, are all those things possibly true? Absolutely. If you don't physically take care of yourself and your basic nutrition and fitness, then yes, you may end up losing hair over it, but that's not male pattern baldness. And that's what people do. They conflate the two. So you losing hair temporarily due to lack of nutrition or stress or lack of sleep, etc., whatever the list is, you could temporarily lose hair. Once you start taking care of yourself, the hair grows back. It's not male pattern baldness. Is it hair loss? Okay, it's hair loss. It's not male pattern baldness. You're not gonna permanently go bald because you go through some spans of your life where you don't get enough sleep. Otherwise, how did I get through college and raising 2 kids and still have this much hair? It doesn't, and not to mention, I know my 30s are coming to a close now, but most of my 30s, I was a vegan, a very strict vegan, and even a little bit before that, I was vegetarian. So some people say, oh, you didn't get enough nutrition, you're gonna go bald. People will come up with all these things to tell you that you're gonna go bald if you do this. Nick Shell, I'm Slick Nick, the living legend of hair loss, telling you, you can't cause hair loss, you can't prevent hair loss. You have no control over that. And younger people who don't have as much life experience as I do, recognize you have to focus on what you can control and not on what you can't. But my younger viewers keep thinking that they can cause hair loss or prevent it. It doesn't work that way. You were born with DNA. You exited the womb. It was already determined even then whether you were gonna go bald or not. And I mentioned this in the video below, in the description, which helps you accurately predict if you're gonna go bald or not. And in there, it covers this, that it was already determined with your DNA. Now, yes, at age 1, you can look at a photo of yourself as a projection of age 35, but I also talk about how your ethnic background plays into it. If you're Asian, predominantly Asian, you're less likely to lose your hair earlier in life. And if you're someone like me who has, what, 1/5 of my DNA is technically Asian because it's Native American via Mexico, which is like Aztec, Mayan, that sort of thing, where men don't have a lot of body hair, but they also tend not to go bald. It's the same concept. So it's about your DNA. You don't determine your DNA. You can't change your DNA. You don't have control over that. So no, working out isn't going to change you going bald or not. There's the honest answer, but when you're young and you're not as experienced in life, you want to believe that you can control it. But Nick Shell is almost 40 and he knows to focus on what he can control and not on what he can't. It goes back to Cat Stevens. I've covered his song on this channel, Father and Son, which is featured in the second Guardians of the Galaxy movie. At the end of the movie, they have that song. And one of the lines in that song is, you're young, that's your fault. So it's a father speaking to his son. And it's funny because, well, it's not your fault that you're young. Yeah, it is. It is. You can't help being young, but just like the song I wrote on this channel recently too, called This Is 40, where in the chorus it says, youth is wasted on the young. It's that same concept. You can't appreciate the truth when you're young because you have your own version of truth, your own blue pill version of truth. It's not until later that you can become mature enough to accept reality for what it is. As you get closer to the top of Maslow's hierarchy of needs pyramid, Google that and you'll find out what I mean. I'm someone who is at the top of that pyramid. I understand and accept life for what it is. Not what I want it to be, but for what it actually is. Working out is not going to help you prevent hair loss or reverse it. It's not. Nothing you do is going to change whether or not naturally you're going to go bald or not. You may temporarily lose hair if you don't sleep enough, don't eat enough, etc. But the hair grows back. That's not the same as male pattern baldness. Do not conflate the two. Your comments belong right here.